Hello everybody, we're back. So we're gonna get right to it. Primarily today's gonna be an Adobe Animate day. I might be going to Aseprite. I haven't decided just yet, but it's still relatively early. We're gonna try to see if we can get at least an hour in tonight. Okay, before we even get started with this, I noticed that Satoros' leg over there is kind of outside the work area, so we need to bring him up a little tiny bit. There we go. There's a couple of changes that I have to do. Unfortunately, let's zoom out. Unfortunately, I did not like Satoros' counter. I thought about it last night. I'm like, you know what? I feel that would have been great, but I think him just blocking it with his aura would be cool. So we'll get rid of it for now. Let's get rid of it. I do need to find something else for him, though. Clear. So while we wait, we're gonna play the movie. Camera's on. I'm gonna go through my assets real quick while we wait for this. As usual, for people that are not familiar with Adobe Animate, you have a 16,000 frame limit on this. As soon as you pass 16,000 frames, that's it. You can't add any more symbols to it. You have to be very careful of how many frames you're gonna be using, especially with a project like this. I promote using as much frames as possible in the beginning stages, but as soon as you get ready to be finished with everything, you can reduce the frames. Because more frames means it's going to be a little bit slower. Alright, so while we wait for that to load up, I will go through my assets. Also, just as a reminder, the longer sprite animation is, the longer it'll take for a test movie to play. So just be wary of that. Assets. Fire. I don't want to use that though. Alright. We're just gonna do one test movie just to see how things are, then we'll start working on stuff. No, that's fine. So in regards to this project, we have about 4,000 frames left, so we're going to use as much frames as we possibly can. I'm probably going to make this an hour plus. There's a lot of things we have to do. There's like a lot of story involved in here. It doesn't look like much for now because this is just the plain raw file, but as soon as we get to DaVinci Resolve, we're going to be doing a lot of shit. And there's a reason why I'm swapping out Satoros' fire effect that we put yesterday. I don't know how it's gonna look like at 30 FPS or like below that, because right now a lot of the FLA file effects that we're using that are capped at 60 FPS. Some of them are going to be extremely fast, but we don't know until we actually finish everything and to get everything into DaVinci Resolve how good it's gonna look. That's why I'm more, I'd rather use my own personal stuff because I already tested them out before, but if there's something cooler at my disposal, I'll use it. But we have to just be careful. And again, one of my biggest regrets is I could have made email a lot better. That's getting sniped by the read is never gonna get old. But I do have a reason why he's not gonna show up toward the ending. He's just gonna say, you know, this is annoying. I'm just gonna get out of here. And again, as I mentioned before, once we get to DaVinci Resolve, that's when we're gonna be adding all the cool effects. So there's gonna be a lot of shaking when Winardi's doing her DM move. That still looks so cool. And as usual, no items were harmed in the making of this. See, that's really fast. So what we have to do is let's slow this down by a bit. Let's add about 10 frames for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Save it. I don't use autosave because autosaving is very busted. The reason being, we'll be watching a test movie, then it'll autosave, depending how long a project is. That autosave may actually freeze. And this is a problem because you can't exit out of a test movie while autosaving is frozen. You're quite literally watching a movie the entire time. And it's a very awkward experience. So the only remedy is Control-Alt-Delete. Adobe Animate is wild at times. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I have an idea. Let's actually have tutorials blast it. It can either blast it or dissipate it. I think blasting it would be a lot better. Tough choice. When it comes to fire, I have a shit ton of fire effects. I guess the power move would be just using my own aura just to dissipate your attack. That's what we'll go with. So right. Oh, that's like that? Ew, really? That's... Alright, fuck it, we're not gonna use that then. No, this way we have options for days. It's fine. Okay, alright. We're gonna try this. This is probably very silly, but we'll see how this looks. If it looks good, we'll keep it. Just wait for it to load up. Sometimes Adobe Animate just does not like stuff. This is why I'm always... I'd rather not have it like that. Fuck it. To miscellaneous we go. That's why you always have to have a plan B, just in case something like weird and silly happens like that. Nope. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. For now, we're just gonna grab Minardi's aura. This is a placeholder. I just want to see how this looks. So we're gonna go all the way back to Minardi, all the way back here. We're not going to use the fire effect just because I want that just as a minority exclusive thing. All right. There we go. Grab this. Copy it. We'll see how it looks on top of Satoros. If not, we'll just do an attack. Also, all the music's over. Let's go to some villainry. I was joking, but sure. I was actually really joking about that. Alright. Paste this here. We're gonna move this here. Alright. That disappears right there. I hate the fact that I added all these frames. It's really shitty. Alright. For now, we're gonna watch the movie, and we'll go from there. While that loads up, I'll start going through other stuff. And as I mentioned before, I'd rather use my own personal stuff than relying on FLAs. It's mostly because FLAs, they take forever to load up on Adobe Animate. Oh, we're just going through the whole shebang? Alright, fuck it, let's go. While we wait, don't drink unless you're my age. So the primary thing is we're going to be focusing more so on Isaac versus Satoros. They're going to wrap it up, but we have a couple more scenes to do with other people. As you've seen, Jenna has seen their boat. Fun fact. We know they have a boat. We never see their boat moored anywhere. So this is why I had Jenna's floating in the water because of plot shenanigans from the last Sprite animation. Imagine. So now we know where I think their boat was moored, outside Polima. Claw holes, everybody! Claw holes. They had access to a boat that they didn't properly utilize. If we did, we don't know. And unfortunately, when it comes to test movies, you can't skip where you want to watch. You have to quite literally watch the whole thing, which kind of does suck, but it's good because you get to see if there's any keyframes or symbols misplaced, because that does happen. And the reason, again, why we're doing this is because I want to see if Satoru's just flexing his aura, dissipating Isaac's attack would actually work. Because initially we're just gonna have him cancel out with his own fire move, but power move would be like, yeah, here's my aura, nothing. Because we all know Satoru's would probably aura farm. Oh yeah, they all would aura, not all of them, but a good chunk of them probably would aura farm. This is probably all the villainous Pokemon themes. I'm just on a random playlist right now. What could be next? This is... Oh, this is Magma and Aqua boss. This one does go hard. Oh yeah, I think I made Isaac's attack a little bit slower because it kind of zoomed in. And unfortunately, TLA editor just didn't want to work, so we had to improvise that night. It's still not working. It works! But like I said before, I don't want to use that because that's kind of a minority thing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna load up Aseprite and we're gonna work on something because unfortunately I have to use Kai's effects and I don't want to use them, but there's a specific aura I was using for Satoros back when him and that just threw me off guard. There was a specific one I was using when it was him versus Isaac, Gary, and Ivan. Oh, there we go. I think it was Saturn that was the trap. That's what I was thinking about. Saturn was the not Mars. It's either Saturn or Jupiter. No, it's Jupiter. The one with the weird hairstyle. One of them was a trap. All right, separate. I know this is gonna take a long time to load up, so we'll work on the sprite while I load this up. We can do Sarah, because Sarah's gonna be playing a pivotal role soon. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Go to certain assets. FLA. I think this is under Mage. Alright. Unfortunately, Kai's effects does take a long time to load up, so this is why we're gonna be doing some separate work. Bonus on. Game assets, background, goes on 1. Training stage. I could give her a... Because you're human, it'd be bad if you lose your pipe. That's why you have secondary weapons. Alright, we'll try to do something here. Anything is possible, it's just we gotta improvise. Hell, if we make carousel pair work, we can do anything at this point. Antagonist. What I can do... I have an idea. Wait, it's working today? Son of a bitch! I don't know why this is not working. Alright, I'll figure that out later. Okay. I still can't believe we're doing this. Still can't believe we're doing this. Oh my God. Again, firearms do exist in this world. The Dark Dawn does have the gun shooting effect, but damn. All right. This has to be like tiny though. I mean, this can work. So as soon as she shoots, yeah, this can work. It's gonna be very weird, but we can get this to work. Let's just make sure we get the size right. Hold on. So I have to go right there. Okay. All right, that's enough of you, Pokemon. We get it. We get it. Let's go back to the mix. Jesus, this is God. That's a mood. That is definitely gonna be a mood, all right. So, what we're gonna have to do now, we have to do a couple things. We're gonna save this first, then I have to make another one which is actually takes the shot. You've seen it here. Firearms can't work in this series. It's gonna look weird, but we got this to work. Sarah boomstick. Okay, now we have to take this, just rotate this a little bit. Not that much. Hold on. So you be careful with these. So like, this can work. It's just actually hold on. I just complicated that for no reason. There we go. So to get this to work, actually, let's see. Only problem is I don't have my... I really don't know why that's not working. Give me a second. I'm gonna figure this shit out real quick. Give me like 2 minutes. I knew it. I'm very curious. So if that's the case, so what's going on right now is pencil tool is functioning as eraser, which should not be a thing. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna have to fix it because I actually need my damn pencil. But oh, wait. Nope. Just give me 1 sec. Later on, I definitely have to update this again. That's gross. That's why. Ew. Ah, that's funny. It's because I have a mask selected as a. That's gross. So give me a second. That's actually gross. All right. Just give me like a minute. this should be set as RGB. That's fine. Okay. Don't worry about this. That's not the end of the world. I'll fix this on my own time. Well, there we go. All right, there we go. So if you ever encounter that issue, right here, make sure this is not a set-on mask, and click one of these, and you should be good. Now we can cook. All right. You learn something new every day. I've been using Aseprite for a long ass time, and even I didn't know that. All right, as soon as I'm done with this, we'll start making our way back towards Adobe Animate. It doesn't have to be perfect. We could throw a couple grays here and there. Like, I'm not gonna be too anal about this. As long as this random ass cross that just showed up goes away. Yeah, okay, that's... It could be better. I'm not gonna be crying over spilled milk about it, but let's just drop the shotgun down a little tiny bit. Okay, I think that's good. So we're bringing it up to the training stage, then we'll see how it looks. Perfect. Alright. So the reason why we have the training stage is so we can actually emulate Adobe Animate. This red line is the x-axis. This red line over here going upwards is the y-axis. It's so weird seeing Heart Sprite with aura. That's a story for another day. Okay. Right there. Okay. So when you fire it, it'd be like that. Like a typical shot. We could have made it a little bit more dramatic by moving her whole sprite like that, but as people know, once you start modifying Golden Sun sprites, oh boy, the shit just goes so fast. Also, height. All right. Now we can go back to Adobe Animate because that's up. Damn it! I forgot. Kaya's system is busted because the moment you click on this, it takes so long for it to load up. I'm such a fool. It shouldn't take that long. We'll just give it like a minute or so, then we'll go from there. Tisk tisk tisk. I am a fool. So today's stream was primarily a little bit of this, some Adobe Animate, no, some Aseprite, excuse me. So now we figured out why I was erasing. It's because of the mask was selected. I was a fool. I've never encountered that issue before, so that's probably more so me just screwing up. But there you go. If you ever run into that issue, make sure you don't have mask selected. If you do, just click a color on your workspace and you should be good to go. Okay. While we wait for that, I can bring up something real quick so we can discuss something. World map. So here's the world map. We're gonna yap for a second while I wait for this to actually load up. Actually, it did load up, but let's yap for like a minute or so. So here is the ship. The ship that Satoros and Minority have. So we know they have said ship. We don't see them accessing said ship at all through the game. So we can assume Prox is up here somewhere. It's just so weird seeing the map like this. Prox is up there. So the best way for them to get to Vale besides doing the glitch, I doubt it. The canals here, you can't really go through the canals. I mean, you could. No, you can't. Yeah, actually, you can't go through the canals. You gotta go through an opening at the canals, which is gonna be... There is no openings at the canals here for some weird reason. No, there's no openings. Fuck it. So, given how Goldison One's map is, you won't be able to do that. So it's safe to assume they just sailed around from Prox. Hesperia's not over here. Bondawan is right here. Oceana is right here. So they probably just went around. Probably parked their ship. It's actually weird because they can't go through here. I think their best bet would have honestly sailed all around here and probably attempted to moor right here because this is where I have their ship moored for plot. This right here. Because as you can see, here's Vale. There's not like a lot of areas that they can actually get into Angara proper. Unless their ship can fly, but we don't have evidence that their ship can fly because we only know that this is their ship down here. So that's a big plot hole we're gonna try to figure out. So right here is where their ship is. Makes sense because for them to get to Vale, they would just have to go down here, go through Goma Cave, go all the way down, traverse all the way to Vale. That's like the most logical way I think they probably did it. There's no way in hell that's a weird journey. So from here, boom, all the way here, Goma Cave. Yeah, this would be the best way for them to get to Vale. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have the ship parked. Okay. This is the type of shit that keeps me up at night, people. There's Mia's. I would be very mad if this is not here. Because this better be here. Son of a bitch, it's not here. Fuck! Excuse my French. It's on Dark Knight, but that one loads up fast, so we don't have to wait that long. Shit. That's fine. That loads up fast. Don't you love when things don't go according to plan? I thought it was in the right spot, but it wasn't in the right spot. But I know where it's at now. It should be under Thief. But luckily, there's not a lot in this one. If this one takes forever, we can go back to Aseprite, because I got about 20 more minutes left. It feels like we had nothing done on Adobe Animate today, because we're making things complicated. Yeah, so this one loads a little bit quicker. If TLA Editor ever works properly, we could actually get the actual rip from the Lost Age and use that. But we'll see. There we go. Wait, no, that's... Ooh, these are the... Fuck. The reason why I don't use these is because this was the one we were using for minority, so that's not gonna work. I really hope it's not under the other one. It probably is. There's two other places it could be. We'll give it another try. If it's not in here, it's probably in the massive elemental folder, and I don't want to load that up. That's going to take at least 10 minutes to load up. I mean, I can load it up, but we will just be primarily working on Aseprite. Hey, no, we're good. This is actually good, because I need this for Isaac. Alright, at least we got something. Alright, we're good. We are good. We're about to cook with Isaac, at least. We'll have it under... We'll put it under Ivan for now, because we're not really using Ivan like that. That song had no business going in that hard. I was thinking about trying to replicate the whole laser sequence. That would be cool, but there's a lot of that would be a lot of assets. This is probably gonna look pretty cool. It's our keyframe. No, this has to be right there. Oh, this is probably not gonna work, actually. Maybe. No, it's not. It can work, actually. There we go. All right, cool. So let's just add this a couple of times, then we should be good to go. Paste. It doesn't have to be all the time, but once he's doing like a Isaac special attack, we'll just go with that. Move keyframe. Wait, oh, there we go. Paste that here. Paste. Remove. Ah, perfect. Insert keyframe. No, yeah, insert keyframe. Insert keyframe. Have it follow him. Oh shit! Wait. There we go. This one has to be ease in and out. Yep, ease in and out. This one should be classic ease. Yep. These are classic tween, classic ease. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, we're not going to use it all the times. Whenever he's doing like a significant attack, we'll have him just like power up a little bit. Perfect. White keyframe. Paste. Put it right there. Enter keyframe. Move this right here. No, no, no. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Slowly but surely, we're cooking. Now, I think there's like one more. Also, Rip Garrett. I'm gonna say this again because I haven't said this in a while. Humans are busted in this series. Keyframe. There we go. Right there. That's a good place to end it. Looking at you, Moapa and buddies, you guys maybe hate bramble seeds. All right, let's watch the movie and go from there. So today was primarily Aseprite due to shenanigans, but it's all good. It's all good. This I'm looking to at least release in September, sometime along those lines. But we did do some work. Aseprite, like I mentioned before, you have to be in the right state of mind. Aseprite can get very complicated. Let's be your primary bread and butter. We'll do 2 watches just in case. And like I mentioned before I forget, the reason why we're doing these shorter streams, well, not tonight. The reason why we're doing these shorter streams because I have to do my script writing streams because I'm streaming those again. I have more time now, but I kind of miss doing them because it's a good zen mode, just typing up your thoughts. So I'm like, all right, we'll bring back my script writing streams from our lower videos. But I do got to cut down on these streams because, hell, on a good day, I would stream at least probably 2 to 3 hours. Let's not do that. I want to get content out more to you guys, so I need to get these actually done. Because probably in January, I'm changing my job because people don't know I'm in the military. I'm changing my job to journalism, so I'm gonna probably go into school in January. So there's gonna be a few months of nothing for me. At least until I'm done with school. So that's why I'm trying to at least get some things out for you guys for January for every timeline hits. Because my contract's about to expire. I gotta re-up or get out. And have no reason not to be in the military. Alright. But it's gonna be a surreal experience once Mercury Lighthouse is finally done. Damn, it's been so long. Like, we've been here for like several videos. But the main thing was giving Mia and Minardi their time in the sunlight. Because as we know, they were 2 of the most heavily underutilized characters in this series. Once Mercury was done, Mia was pretty much in the background. Minardi, you technically only fight her 1.5 times. Half being in prologue and 1 being in the final, the penultimate boss. Because as usual, this series is primarily going to be more adult-oriented, mature reimagining of Golden Sun's story. 1 and 2 at least. We're throwing elements of Dark Dawn in there. That's why we have Heart into a Praying. There's some time shenanigans afoot. The story's loosely gonna follow canon, but we're throwing my own darker twist to this. So don't be expecting things to go the same way, especially like with Sarah Squad. I felt like from as much as I love 5Ds, I can't hear myself think. As much as what was I gonna say? I feel personally from Mercury Lighthouse, well, from Veil to Mercury Lighthouse, the tension was peak. There was some peak tension. You know what was up. Then as soon as Mercury Lighthouse was done, it just dies down, and it picks up after Colosso. I'm gonna try to fill in. Gonna try to fill in that lack of tension from Mercury all the way up until Bilibin. Not Bilibin. Excuse me. Toby. I don't know why I say because Bilibin. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Give me a second. I have to slow that down a little tiny bit. No, that's fine. It's fine. So primarily, I'm gonna try to keep that tension around. That's why I introduced the group of 4 to be a foil to Isaac's party throughout Golden Sun 1 after Mercury until the end of Golden Sun 2. So this is why you have Sarah's squad. It's gonna be 4 of them. Each of them has a person they're gonna be going up against. And of course, threw some Dark Dawn shenanigans in here, so you have 2 characters from Dark Dawn being the representative from their game. I like it. This is good. So let's do a few more minutes. Unfortunately, I did not find what I was trying to find with Satoros. Wait a minute, actually. We'll look somewhere else real quick. Unfortunately, okay, I was about to say. No. Make sure we save that. Shit. This is fine. We're just gonna have to. We're gonna go to Eins real quick. Oh yeah, we can. All right, I have an idea. It's your keyframe. No, we'd have Isaac dash, but we're not going to use the aura. We'll have them both dashing each other. Why am I so blind? Poppy. Would you like another few minutes? Paste. Movie right here. Turn on onioning. Modify, transform, horizontal. Perfect. That should be good. Move tween. We'll go over tweening real quick before we wrap this up. Here's point A. So we want Isaac's sprite to go from... Oh, I fucked up a little bit. Make sure you do it when the camera stops moving. We don't want to make that mistake again. Give us a couple extra frames. Save this. So we want Isaac's sprite to go from where he is right there to this, which we added a new keyframe, but he needs to go somewhere else. So what we're gonna do is insert another keyframe right here. We're gonna move Isaac with the arrows. We're gonna have him and Satoru both meet up right there. But this looks stupid. He's just gonna teleport right there. It makes no sense. So what we're gonna do is something called tweening. Here's point A, here's point B. Right click anywhere in between point A and point B, create classic tween. So you have options. You can either keep it as a classic ease, is how Sonic the Hedgehog moves in the original retro games, or we can do ease in and out, which I use because it looks a little bit more natural. You ease into the movement, then you go. Perfect. All right. So we're gonna do the same thing with Satoru's, but we don't actually have Satoru's sprite in here right now, so we can just do that real quick before we wrap it up. The biggest lie in Kingdom Hearts history. Defeat Master Xehanort and take back your body. Satoru's. Took me a while to make this sprite. It could have been so much better, but it's all good. Dashing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Satoru's. As soon as Isaac dashes, Satoru's is gonna dash. Insert blank keyframe. Satoru's is gonna disappear. We're gonna put him right there. We're gonna turn off the camera because you do not want to do anything with the camera on when it comes to resizing because your sizing is gonna be all over the place. Click modify. Bitmap. Make sure you actually have them select modify. Bitmap. Trace bitmap. Color threshold on 1. Minimum error 1 pixel. Corner threshold many corners. Curve fit pixels. Click OK. From there, press F8. We're converting it into a symbol now. Call it whatever you want to call it. We'll call it Satoru's dashing. Perfect. Now you can resize it however you see fit. But remember, we don't want this to be on when the camera's on. So we're gonna make him a little bit. We're gonna make him like similar to Isaac's. They're both low profiling. So 241.4, 170.4. Still, compared to how Isaac is, make him a little bit bigger. Because Isaac's is more. He has the Fire Emblem style dash. Alright, perfect. Modify. Transform. Flip horizontal. Move this back a little bit. Same thing we did with Isaac. We need a point A and a point B. Create keyframe. Insert keyframe, excuse me. We would have them both meet up right there. Create classic ease. Perfect. Save it and let's watch the movie. Alright, we did a lot today. Things didn't go according to plan initially, but things got done. We did about an hour today. If you guys want me to do longer streams, just let me know. I have to really take into consideration the time to actually have when I get out of IRL work. Because I do have to make time for lore writing, which is usually around 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Now I gotta make time for this, then make time for myself to go to sleep. Because I have a little bit more responsibilities now. But yeah, if you guys want me to do a little bit longer, I'll just reschedule things a little bit. But this is gonna get done. This is getting done, and we're somehow, some way, gonna accomplish this mission. But before I forget, we need to finish this off. Fight Club, let's go. We'll do one watch and we'll call it a day. Good night. I did not turn on the camera. No, I did not. Fuck! The gag continues. Always turn on the camera. Bum, 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 bum. And like I mentioned before, the longer your sprite animation is, the longer it takes for a test movie to go, but you just gotta be patient. It should take like 30 seconds, and we're closely approaching 12,000 frames, so we have about 4,000 frames left. So we got plenty of room. Fight Club ended friendships in Melee. Ivan's crater still looks ridiculous, but it's all good. We have fun with it. Bum, bum. Oh, in this story, don't forget, Minardi's scythe acts as a medium to all her occult stuff. Since she doesn't have it no more, no occult stuff. And Ojo-sama and Mia is still gonna be my favorite part of this because it was so random. I was wasted one night. You know, let me make Mia into an Ojo-sama. Make sure everything's good, looking good. Again, that's gonna be slowed down so we actually see Mia slide. This part's definitely gonna be very fun to work with. And I gotta restock on alcohol tomorrow. Having Minardi do a DM and Mia do a DM is actually pretty cool. People don't know, DM is desperation move. We call that we call it DMs from KOF. Okay, perfect. We got our next scene set up for tomorrow, so good stuff. All right, that's pretty much it for me because I gotta go get ready to go to work tomorrow. So good stuff, everybody. Enjoy the VOD. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll talk later. Good night, guys.